Have you ever wished you could just clone yourself? I mean, really scale your unique insights, your gut feelings, your specific way of making decisions? Well, today, we're going to break down exactly how to build a personal AI that does just that, an AI that works just like you. Let's dive in.
Look, the real revolution here isn't about waiting for the next big, flashy AI tool that everyone else is using. The future, the real game changer, is creating and deploying an AI that is a true extension of your own mind. And that's exactly what we're going to explore right now.
So, if this is so powerful, where do most people get it wrong? Well, it all starts with a huge misunderstanding of what the problem even is.
This right here, this busts the biggest myth out there. Most people think building a personal AI is some kind of complex coding problem, something you need a PhD for. But that's not it at all. The reality? It's a curation problem. Your success has nothing to do with programming and everything to do with how well you can select, organize, and structure your own unique knowledge.
To really get this right, you need a powerful way to think about it. So let's frame this whole thing around one core, simple analogy.
I want you to think of your personal AI as the world's most dedicated intern. It shows up on day one, super capable, incredibly eager, but it's a total blank slate. It knows absolutely nothing. It only becomes a valuable copy of you when you give it the two things it needs to think.
And what does this intern need? It's really simple. Just two things. First, it needs the brain. This is all your unique stuff, your data, your past decisions, your best thinking. Second, it needs the rule book. These are your direct orders on how to use that brain, your tone of voice, your priorities, your personal style.
Okay, so with that trained intern mindset locked in, let's build on it with the actual blueprint. This is the core framework for making it all happen. It all boils down to a really simple but incredibly powerful three-pillar framework. This is how you create an AI clone with high fidelity, one that doesn't just sound like you, but actually thinks like you.
All right, pillar number one. This is all about building the brain for our intern. But here's the absolute key. This is not about quantity. We're not just dumping in terabytes of random stuff. We're focusing on quality, on creating a high-density collection of your very best knowledge.
So what the heck is high-density data? Well, think of it this way. It's not just information. It's information that's packed with context. We're talking about your most important emails, your big strategy docs, and, this is crucial, the notes explaining why you made certain decisions. This is how you teach the AI your judgment, not just your facts.
Pillar number 2. This is where we give our intern its rulebook. It's a technique called persona prompting, and honestly, it's how you program the AI's soul.
And check this out. This is a perfect example of a strong persona prompt. It's not some vague instruction like, be helpful. No way. It is incredibly specific. This kind of master instruction, sometimes called a meta prompt, locks in your unique communication style before the AI even sees a single piece of your data. And finally, we have pillar 3. Now listen up, because this is the most critical step, and it is the one that almost everybody skips. This is how you turn a good AI into a perfect clone of you, through active, hands-on training. The whole process is a simple but ridiculously powerful feedback loop. First, you test it. You throw tough, complex situations at it to see how it performs. Second, you correct it. You manually go in and edit the output to match exactly what you would have said. And third, this is the magic, you reinforce it. You feed that corrected pair, the AI's failure plus your success, right back into its brain. This is how it literally evolves to think in your image. Okay, so we've got the framework down. Now let's kick it up to the expert level. This is about moving beyond just teaching your AI what to say and actually teaching it how to decide. I mean, just look at the difference here. A beginner trains an AI on a generic task, like how to write a blog post. An expert, though, trains it on a task with specific constraints and a desired outcome. That focus on how to behave in a specific situation is what separates a simple tool from a true digital twin.
And here's a rare little tip for doing this well. Use decision trees. I mean, literally map out your complex logic. If X happens, I first check Y, and only if Y is true, then I do Z. When you encode that directly into your data, you're teaching the AI to replicate your judgment instead of just making a guess.
Okay, I know this all sounds great in theory, but you're probably asking, how do I actually start? So let's make this incredibly practical. Here's your launchpad, a clear plan you can literally begin today.
Seriously, look how achievable this is. In one day, you can gather your core documents. In a single hour, you can set up the system, upload the data, and write that first persona prompt. And from that point on, every single interaction becomes a training session. Your job is to be the editor of your digital self.
And as you're gathering that data, just keep this simple guide in mind. You want high-context, personal documents that explain your reasoning. You absolutely want to avoid low-context, generic stuff. Keep the input clean, curated, and totally exclusive to your own mind.
You know, what you're really doing here is so much more than just building a new productivity tool. The AI you train with your unique expertise and judgment, it becomes a scalable version of your value. In a way, it actually becomes your legacy.
If you found this framework for building your digital legacy valuable, hey, be sure to like and subscribe for more. I've also put together a really helpful infographic that summarizes this entire process for you just to help you get started.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. As you start on this journey, what is the very first, most important decision that you are going to teach your own personal AI clone?